Hey gang, Jay Maston, and in today's video we are going to be installing a water separator. I wish this had been my very first project for this boat. You all pretty good. I'm very happy I have this. I'm gonna tell you why. Cause you just never know. You all have seen me install trolling motors, electronics twice, and a whole host of other things. When I see people on the Facebook group and everywhere else, I see little things that you all have done. I'm like, hey, they got that from one of my videos. So I really appreciate you all watching. I showed you all how to change out that fuel filter under the engine cowl, and I hope you all have seen, or if you haven't, if you bought those fuel filters I told you to, I'm sorry. They were not good. Another user informed me that, hey, mine melted. It reacted with the gasoline. Sure enough, I checked under mine, it melted. I put a comment down, don't buy those, buy the Quicksilver brand. So, sorry, but, try to help where I can. It didn't affect you all, it affected me too. Thankfully, it didn't do any harm to the engine. And I'm sure it didn't do anything to you all. So, why am I installing a water separator? A few days ago, I needed to put some gas in the boat. I was already on the lake, and a lot of you all know I carry around an extra fuel container with a couple gallons of gas. I don't use that much gas. I usually get to a spot and I'm on the trolling motor. What I usually do is I will pour it out to make sure there's no water inside of here, and it's been raining a lot. This time I did open the fuel cap, I poured it, and I saw that clear water come out. Water separator will help in this, but that was still a stupid move. Thing is, you don't have to worry about doing that stupid move. If you live in a place like I do where there's ethanol in your gasoline, chances are that the air that's inside the tank and any other moisture, water will eventually collect and get inside your gasoline. Ethanol actually attracts the water and will allow it to get mixed into the gasoline. Just look it up. I'm not really sure of the terminology to tell you exactly how, but just trust me. Ethanol, air, water makes for a bad combination with your gasoline, and a whole host of other things that ethanol is not good for your engine for. Now, I am sure that you all are using some type of gasoline treatment and fuel stabilizer for your engines. If you're not, you should be. And one of the main things is to combat ethanol and just gas sitting for some period of time. I fish year round, so I don't have to really worry about my fuel not being stabilized, but I definitely use this. Use both. I called up one of my local places to say, hey, do you all have one of these fuel filters? They said, yeah, it's $50. And they gave me a part number. This is actually one made by Sierra. The part number on this one is 187848-1. It is actually a direct replacement for the Mercury/Quicksilver one. This one came with a 21 micron filter, and it has an aluminum housing. It only came with 2 plugs. It didn't come with any of the nipples. This was on sale at Amazon for $28. I've seen it less, even $25. This filter, just like a regular oil filter, is just a metal canister, and you are going to change it at least once a year. You could replace it with one of these. This is a 10 micron filter, and it has a clear bulb at the bottom, and it also has a place where you can release. You can see if there is any fuel. Now, the thing is about water. Water is heavier than gasoline, so for the most part you're going to probably see fuel in here, but then you'll start to see the clear water at the bottom and the colored gasoline on the top. You can just quickly release it out and you can keep your filter pretty good. You still want to replace these filters probably once a year, maybe longer if you wanted to, depending on how dirty you think your gas is. These filters, this is just a filter only, and it is I think it was $20, $28, $30, something like that. Ultimately, I'm not going to keep this. And I like that it has an aluminum housing. I really, really do. And maybe one day I might get one. But I'm going to return this kit. For the filter and getting the main piece that I wanted, that's 60 bucks. I purchased this kit. This comes with everything you need. The housing is actually polymer. Now, if you're a person that's against polymer, that debate was ended, years ago in the 80s when Glock came around, right? Who wants a polymer gun? Now they're super popular, right? The only thing I have issues with is I see some debris inside of it, some plastic, so I'm going to clean it out. But it has a brass fitting right here. It came with the stop caps, and also came with the bar for your gas lines. It comes with them for both sides, so you get two, you get a block, and it does not come with the fuel line. You're going to want to purchase a fuel line. I just went to O'Reilly's and bought a fuel line. Finally, you're going to need some hose clamps. You can get the nice hose clamps that you crimp down, or you can just get these easy to use screw-on type. And I'm going to be taping the threads before I put them on this. Just don't want any leaks when it comes to something that's combustible. This kit also came with the filter that I want to use. Clear sight. Comes with the balls right here. And whenever I see water in the line or just want to, I can drain it off. This is going to be a very simple installation, people. I did do the fuel tank move, and I also keep my spare tank on this side. I thought about mounting it right here, but it's going to be a little bit in the way. Where I'm going to be putting mine is under here. It's getting a little dark, so I'm going to try to show you all step by step in pictures, and if I run into any issues during this installation. But also I'm going to show you all the after. Now, I'm using quarter bolts. You can go up to 5/16. That would actually be a great fit. But I'm using quarter just because I don't want to put big holes in the back of my boat. The bolt size is just 1 inch. That's all you need. That's how it looks when it's on the opposite side. That's all you're going to need. And so I'm going to go ahead and hook this puppy up, and then I will show you all the after results. I was going to put it right here, but as you can see, I have this bolt right here. And I don't want anything getting in the way when I'm putting the filter on and off, so I'm going to cap that. But we went ahead and drilled 2 1/4-inch holes right here, thread size 20, and we tapped them. So right here, behind here, there is a beam just like this one, a support beam like the one down here, and it's right behind here. So that's good for me because it's going to give it's going to give more area to grip. Right here, there wasn't much. I think it was just this one beam right here. I started this project by removing the fuel line from the gas tank just to make things easier. I removed the line on the outside of the pressure regulator, and this is where I placed the brand new fuel line. Make sure you put your hose clamps on the lines before you insert the nipples. To make inserting the nipples easier, place a little motor oil on the nipples and the pressure regulator. Make sure you also thread the plugs and the nipples with correct gas tape before you insert them into the filter mount. Good morning, gang. It was a little too dark last night, so I didn't want to finish. But we have the unit mounted. We mounted it just under the engine. I have more than enough room to still access, you know, any of the pumps down here if I need to service those. Still get to my drain. And the cool thing about this pump is that I can drain out any water, indoor gas, or what have you, contaminants from down here. I'll put a hose on it because I'm not going to just let it go down here. I'll catch it in a cup or something. But we're not complete. The final steps that we're going to be doing is I'm going to be taking this filter off and oiling it up. Because just like all filters, you need to oil it before you put it on snug and nice and hand tight. I'm going to go ahead and take it off. See, it's easy to remove in this location. So we need to put a little oil on the top. We also need to take this rubber O-ring off and put a little oil on it. Then we'll put this back together. You want to make sure that this is tight. On is when this little rubber seal right here is all the way at the bottom. If it's up, then that's going to drain. Because the next and final steps we're going to do, we're going to pour gas into this filter. Fill this filter up with gas. So we want to go ahead and have gasoline in here and not air. And then what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and prime your bulb up like you would normally do and everything else. And then we're going to do a test run. I'm not going to take it to a lake and test it. I'm just going to hook it up to, you know, the hose and all that type of stuff. And we're going to test it out. As long as everything works here, then I can fix it. I don't want to be at the lake and something isn't working. So that's how we're going to do it. Alright gang, the job is complete. Sorry I didn't show you all how I put that filter on, but the only thing I did, as you can see, there's gas already in the filter. So you put this, you oil the seal, and you put this bowl back on the filter, and you fill the filter up with gas. I went ahead and filled up to probably about right there. Then you just screw it on. And that's just so this thing can have gas in here. I use both lines. This is the in line running inside the filter. It gets filtered up and it comes out the out. The out is curled under. I love two quick disconnects. This quick disconnect will disconnect the bulb line that goes into the motor to the outboard from the filter. So this gray line right here will still be on the filter, but that disconnects the bulb and all of that good stuff. This black line stays on the fuel filter, but it has the quick disconnect on the back of the tank. So if needed, you know, we can always cut the fuel at two different places. This drain right here will, the thing is, what you'll notice is water is heavier than gas, so you should see clear liquid. If water ever gets in here, you'll see clear at the bottom, and then you know the color of gas, a little bit brownish color at the top. So that's how you know you have water in your line. And so what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and test it. I want to take it out today, so I don't want to test at the lake though. So I have the flusher on. We're going to go ahead and turn it on, then we're going to turn the engine on for a little bit. Make sure everything runs all smooth. Alright. So that should feed the water inside, and we should see it, you know, shooting out on the side in just a second. What we're going to go ahead and do now is prime this thing. Alright, go ahead. we're just gonna let it run for about 3 minutes or so. All right, so everything performed as expected. This is how everything looks tucked away. You know, we always had this coil right here in the way and everything, but this unit right here is not any bit in the way. These lines, I can still have my space. This is where I usually keep my fuel stabilizer and all that, so whenever I fill up, I just have it right here ready to go. Go ahead and crank it back up again, and let's go. Alright, so no wake zone. But that's gonna conclude the video right there, people. I always respect kayakers. I mean, that a lot of you all know how well I love my kayaks. I got like 5 of them, but I love my kayaks. And when I see guys out here, I don't even, when I see people fishing, even on the bank, I never try to throw a wake at them. It seemed like boaters used to do that on purpose back when I used to be on the bank or on my kayak and things like that. But it's never a class thing, you know? And I'm just not a person that like to just be malicious. It's not even funny. So, anywho, we're gonna go ahead and go on by those guys, and we're about to go ahead and get some fish. So, have any comments, questions? Leave them below. Follow me on Instagram. You can ask me questions, request videos, things like that. And you can also, you know, go to jamieaston.com or jamiebanks.com. You all take care. Let's go catch some fish, babies.